Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Juice with Justin. Today, I'm going to talk about the fitness industry in Vietnam. When I first got here, I didn't even think I was going to get into fitness, but I saw a unique opportunity. It was like the Wild West when I first got here. People were still doing like Jane Fonda workouts. People were making up their own certifications. It was all over the place. There was no such thing as strength and conditioning and athletic training. I'm going to use the pie analogy to help us out here. Back then, 2012 when I got here, fitness in Vietnam was like a small pie. And it was being served. The Vietnam market was being served with this Jane Fonda Wild West stuff. And the expat Viet Q market was being served through big box gyms, medium-sized gyms, and things of this nature. The pie was small, and I felt like if I could just get a little piece of that pie, I'd be doing okay. If we did a good job, that pie would grow, and conversely, my share of the pie would grow with it. So that's where we were then. Here's where we are now. We've got this unique COVID situation. Prior to that, the fitness industry was growing hand over fist, like huge growth market. I mean, in Vietnam, we had like 7% GDP recently. We're one of the fastest growing countries in the world. So right up until this COVID point, in my neighborhood alone, we went from like 2 gyms to now I can't even count, more than a dozen. There's big box gyms everywhere, personal trainers everywhere, everyone trying to get their piece of this ever expanding pie. Wha-bam! Here comes the COVID, and now that pie is like gonna get cut in half. To be honest, I don't think many fitness businesses are gonna survive this thing. You know, when you have a growth mindset, you're just going after that dollar and you're not focusing on the things that are gonna help you in the long term, which I feel is user experience, client education, things of that nature. All the gyms, like everyone is closed. And it happened all at different times, like the big box gyms like UFC, California Fitness, etc. All the boutique gyms have started to close. And I think the last people are sort of like the one-on-one personal trainers in the really small spaces. And that includes myself. Even the gyms in the apartment buildings and things of this nature, they've closed as well. Because of the industry catering to the masses and trying to be a one-stop shop for all, they're not really prepared for what's going to happen right now, which is essentially a down market and this pie being cut. But this is going to make us better off, and I'll tell you why. From this closure, it's going to weed out the crap. People who aren't supposed to be here in the long-term game aren't going to be here. They just won't cut it. There's going to be huge opportunities 3 to 5 years from now. We have an aging population here in Vietnam that's completely being underserved. Fitness in Vietnam, the trend of it, it's viewed as this young person thing, flashly, like go out, go get a smoothie, wear your cool stuff, be seen, take a selfie, etc. That doesn't really cater to this aging population. They need people to come in and serve their demographic, meet them on their terms and with their language. That's going to be one of them. 2, kids and the youth market. Because Vietnam is such a growth economy and the middle class is getting more money, more disposable income, with that has come an increase in consumption of crap like fast food, McDonald's, KFC, etc. And a reduction in outside activity and play because we've all got iPads and video games and things of that nature. We've got to figure out how can we talk to that demographic in their language and be at their level. That's going to be a huge growth opportunity for fitness in Vietnam. Lastly, fitness education. This is going to be one of PPC's main focuses moving forward. And what I'm talking about here is twofold. Education for the end user or the client, coaching instead of training. A lot of fitness businesses right now offer training. They give a person a fish as opposed to teaching them how to fish. And that's what I'm talking about here. Giving the end user the tools and the education so that they continue this and make it a lifestyle. Whether or not they're here in Vietnam or elsewhere, or they stop training with you, etc. I think that's the right thing to do. Second, education for personal trainers. The education industry in Vietnam is still severely lacking. There's many gaps, and there's just much more effective means of training and training education that could be taught and helped trickle down into the fitness industry. If I had it my way, in this perfect world scenario, the Vietnam fitness industry, the pie, it will just keep getting bigger. And it gets all these sorts of flavors. And you can cut it up every different way. And it serves customers from the day they were born till their aging days. And if the industry can focus on some of these things that I was talking about, everything will rise for the greater good, and everyone can have a piece of this pie. So that wraps it up, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned for my next episode. I'm going to talk about the top 3 pieces of fitness equipment that I would buy if I was going to start a home gym. Thanks for tuning in with Juice with Justin.